Man, what's good? It's your boy, The Difference. We're vibing with veterans. I appreciate you stopping back in. I had another story on mind, especially since last time you learned about me taking flight. This week, I want you to learn a little bit about my first experience as a supervisor, as an NCO, my first subordinate, my first soldier. But in order for me to take you down this road, I gotta take you back to where it started. It started in Korea. I was doing a job. I signed up for the military based off of a video that I seen. In this video, there were guys riding dirt bikes, shooting AKs. I was young. I wanted to get out the hood. Immediately, I was sold. When I got to Korea, none of that happened. I've never seen the entire time I was in the military, I'd never seen a dirt bike. The AK is different, but anyway, long story short, I did my time in Korea. We did a lot of partying and a lot of field exercises. When I say a lot of field exercises, we might have been home 2 or 3 months out of a year. You gotta understand, we were in the field so much. I started reconsidering all my life choices up until this point. Like, this was the initial evaluation, the initial shockwave in my life. I said, to myself, self, if this job requires us to be in the woods this much, well, it's not for me, man. I mean, I don't mind being in the woods, but we don't do anything else. We went to the field just that many times. Anyway, while I was in Korea, I contacted my branch. I requested to change my MOS. Boom, I got approved. I got put on orders. I was in there. I PCS to Fort Gordon, get to Fort Gordon, thinking that I'm on my way to change my job. Wrong. I had no idea, 3 days into me being at Fort Gordon from Korea, that I would be in line for a deployment. Boots up. So when I get back to stateside from Korea, I meet this high and mighty first son of mine, big up top, little at the bottom. He was fast, strong too, man, but built funny. Anyway, as soon as I get here, I'm an E2. While I was in Korea, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I thought I knew everything. Never got promoted. Got there as an E2, left there as an E2. Got to Fort Gordon, thinking I was going to reclass as an E2. Day one, first sergeant said, "You beat me on this PT test, I promote you on the spot." Well, I mean, of course, he changed the rules a little bit because this dude was running 13-minute 2 miles. 13-minute 2 miles, and we were doing other things. Anyway, I didn't beat him, but I came close to being near him at the end of this race. Boom, get promoted, bam. It's all the setup. I didn't even know it. By day 3, we're manifesting and getting things in order, getting trucks lined up to be shipped out, cleaned, and everything. I'm going to Iraq, but I thought I was here for school to reclass. The Army set me up. Boom, we deploy. We get downrange. Now, while we're downrange, especially myself, there's a multitude of jobs I'm doing. You gotta think, I had one job to do. I came to another place to change jobs. And now I'm sitting here, needs of the Army. I'm a fueler, I'm a cook, wherever they want me. We running communications, we're running Cat 5, CX-11 230, we're doing everything. We're also convoying on missions weekly. So it's a lot going on. We lost quite a few soldiers on this deployment. Near the end of the deployment, I would say around 7 or 8 month mark, I get my R&R. R&R is a chance for you to go back home, spend 2 weeks with your family, and get your ass back on this deployment so we can finish things up. I'm the last one selected to go on R&R. I think we're on month 9. Now I can't recall. 7, 8, 9 months. I don't remember. I believe it was about the 9-month mark because I remember coming back from R&R and not being there very, very long at all. I go home, I get back. When I leave, I had recently been promoted to E5, so I didn't have any soldiers at the time. Upon my return, I was awarded a special soldier. We're gonna call this guy Private Jack Stroganough. All right, anyway, I get back from R&R. When I touched down back on R5 where we were located, the last thing on my mind was any issues, any drama, any pressure from anyone. My mind is somewhere totally different. Get ready for the next day. We got a convoy out. I don't remember exactly where we went, but we had a convoy out the next day. As I'm walking to my sleep tent, our sleep tents, we had a lot of sandstorms, so they built us these wooden doors on the outside of the sleep tent. As I opened the door to this sleep tent, I was bombarded with a funk that I'll never forget, man. It was humid, it was stank, it turned my stomach a tad bit. So as I allowed that funk to flow through the door and I'm navigating my way in the tent, I immediately know the soldier in our tent, Private Jack Stroganough, is the culprit. I know he's the culprit. And immediately I got mad. I smelt it. I felt all the humidity, and it was a bad situation. And it put me in a bad place. So as soon as I came in the tent, we had our tent divided with poncho liners. Each cot sleeping area had a poncho liner or two set up just for a little separation. I mean, we'd still see, but a little separation. I remember walking in the tent and pulling the flap back, that poncho liner back. Private Stroganough is laying on his belly, on his cot, face down, on his hands, writing in his composition notebook like this, right? Listening to his iPod. He gives me the look as I'm pulling the poncho liner back of, here comes Sarno with that BS. I'm ready. I say, hey, Private Stroganough, I need for you to stop what you're doing. Gather up your items, put them away and grab your hygiene bag, and let's go to the shower trailer. You stink, and you got the whole tent reeking, bruh. You know what this joker said to me? He peeks one headphone. He says, Sergeant Owens, I am on my personal time and this is my personal space. Now what you have to take into account is Private Jack Stroganough. He was like a surplus soldier. They tasked him to do additional duties and details around the file. He had a job to do, but he wasn't wrapped too tight, and he was lazy. What I didn't know at the moment of receiving Private Jack Stroganough was that he didn't like to shower. Private Stroganough didn't like to shower at all. He would go weeks without showering to the point where he developed sores on his skin, and they would excrete this smell, and it was bad. I didn't know it at the time, but I found a lot out in this same day, in the same evening. I would appreciate it if you would leave me. And you gotta understand, I just came back from R&R, relaxed to come back to professionalism. In the middle of him saying that, I lost it, I blacked out. In the moment of me blacking out, subconsciously, I dropped the professionalism. I dropped the stripes, I dropped everything. Oh, you done met the person I was before I joined the Army. I slapped the Star-Spangled Banner up out this boy. You understand me? Pow! I slapped the taste up out of his mouth. Those little glands, the lacrimal glands, your tear ducts, eyes welled up with water. I slapped him one good time. In that moment of me slapping him, I noticed that in his notebook, it was something very personal because he didn't care about his headphones going this way and his MP3 going that way, both of them detaching from one another, going separate ways. He didn't care nothing about that. His focus was on that notebook. But he stood up and shot out the tent, went to my commander's tent and snitched on me. This little fat private Jack Stroganough went straight to my commander and snitched. Dang. I gather up his notebook that he left because he was he was bloodshot red, excuse me. He was on a mission to snitch on me, so in my mind, I was like, well, let me gather all the evidence that I can gather. I pick up his composition notebook, and in this notebook, as I pull the cover back, it says, top 5 people I want to kill. Well, damn boy, I don't even know you like that. The plot's thickened even more. Thankfully, I was only number 2 on the list. Now, I'm only number 2 on the list, but as I'm looking over this list more and more, everybody that lives in this tent with this dude is on this list. So now what you've turned into what could have been a possible quick cleanup, get yourself together, now we got an incident. I quickly take his notebook, I put it in the back of my pants. Take my uniform, fold it out, flip it out. You can't even tell it's in my back. He goes and snitches on me and comes back. I got you now. Sergeant Owens. The commander and first sergeant would like to see you. Make sure you bring a battle buddy. Who's this little fat dude talking to, man? You know what? I done already got out of pocket once. He done snitched on me for a reason. Let me get myself together and get situated and get on down to the commander's tent. So I get down to the commander's tent, right? Commander and first sergeant's tent, right? Not knowing what to expect other than corrective action. To my surprise, the total opposite of corrective action was going to be bestowed upon me. I knock on the commander's door, you know, all professional, doom, doom, doom. I'm standing at the position of attention. You know, I'm doing all the things that are required of us. Boom. You may enter, Sergeant Owens. Now I can laugh it off, but at the moment I felt a tad bit disrespected. Now he's sitting on his cot, right? With his back to the front of the tent, right? The cot, you know, rectangular cot. You know, you sleep out in the woods in a cot. Go camping or something like that. As I walk up and assume the position of attention, this dude swings his feet around. I'm talking about leans, swings, gathers his composure and looks back at me. Sergeant Owens, I'm disappointed in you this evening. I'd like for you to speak to your first sergeant. He put me in a moment of feeling like, did you just swing your feet and tell me how disappointed you were in me? Like I said, I can laugh it off now, but in the moment, I was young, full of rage and fire, man. He swung them feet around and told me what he needed to tell me, so I look towards my first sergeant. My first sergeant standing there laughing. I'm wondering to myself, like, what's so funny? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess it is funny. I slapped fire from that boy. You understand me? But then he hit me with it. After we go over what the do's and the don'ts and the rights and the wrongs, first sergeant looks at me and says, well, Sergeant, since you can't get along with him, now he's your problem. Private Stroganough is now your soldier. Show me what you can do, Sergeant. What am I gonna do with this stinking ass dude, man? Roger, First Sergeant. But before we go, sir, First Sergeant, I reached in my back and pulled out that composition notebook. Boom. Opened up the cover. Something we need to discuss first, isn't there? You should have seen Private Stroganaugh's eyes. It was like he was holding his stomach up to have the feeling in his chest because, yeah, I got some noise. Yeah, I got his ass. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Soon as he seen me pull out that notebook, all of that sunk back down to what he really was. Like a slug or a sloth or something like that. You know, he was built funny, like a pear. You know what I'm saying? Purrs. Anyway, man. And make the long story short, after we go through everything, sworn statements, incident report, all of these things, because it was a serious incident. We had our full battle loads, you know what I'm saying? Like at any moment I could turn and the boy could be locked and loaded on me. Any moment. Never happened like that, but preventative measures were put in place. So we make it back to the tent, right? We headed back to the tent. Me, fellow E5, Private Jack Stroganough. We get back to our tent. You know, I open the door, the funk comes out again. It's a bit much, man. Anyway, we get back to the tent, and you know, I'm not high on my horse because I can't perform and act carelessly like I did before, because now I'm your supervisor. Now I'm your NCO. Now you have to look to me for things. You know what I'm saying? I have to take care of your needs in a sense. All right, I'm a clean person. I said, hey, Private Stroganough, sorry we got off on a bad start, but to prevent things from ever happening again, let's start off on a fresh foot. That being said, grab your hygiene bag. Let's head out to the shower trailer. I had just got back. I needed a shower. I've been doing all this traveling, a couple sandstorms. It was hot, different vibes we were at. It was a bit much. It was time for a shower. I grab up my things. Now you gotta think, I'm in uniform. I still got my uniform, got my weapon, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my boots and everything. He's in PTs with his weapon and stuff. And we walk out to the shower trailer. There's no conversation. You know, there's this grim feeling, but I'm not paying it no mind because it's night. I'm tired. A lot has happened. A lot has transpired. We get to the shower trailer, right? Now, my mind is not in motion of anything other than let's make sure that he showers. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I can hear him in the shower. Make sure I know that the water is hot that's coming out. And make sure he's not standing side to side. I'm not going to watch him, but I'm listening. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to stand here and watch you do everything you need to do. But I'm going to make sure I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like a good father. You know what I'm saying? What's that noise? Same. Anyway, we get up in the shower trailer, whatever. He immediately darts into the shower. Boom, he's in the shower. But damn, for you to stink this bad, and for the tent to smell the way it does, you got in that water fast as hell, Freddy. Oh, excuse me, Private Stroganough. Anyway, I'm sitting with my back to the shower, taking my uniform off. Boom. Taking my boots off. I'm taking my time because we should have some time between us showering in a sense. I get in the shower As I'm getting in the shower, I put my towel up on me as I stood up, get all my stuff together. Boom. As I'm sliding in the shower, boom, the water's on, it's hot, everything's going. His water's coming off. I said, hey, Stroganough, let's turn that water on and let's soap up whatever rag or whatever you're using. Let's be serious this time. I don't want you to continue having these issues with me. We're on a fresh start. I'm closing the door. I'm hanging my towel up. Boom. The shower trailer, it was 2 hooks in between each shower. A hook for shower on the left, a hook for the shower on the right. So, I hung up everything, right? Yeah, I hung up my towel, I hung up my hygiene bag and everything else on the other side. As I'm getting to lather up, and I'm taking my shower or whatever, it's probably been about 10, 15 minutes. Good enough time for him to have showered. I heard a little soap going on, I could hear it. Not sure if he was just standing there doing like this or not, but I assumed he did what needed to be done. It dawned on me, as soon as he turned his water off, it hit me. We've got the exact same color towel. We got our towels from the same shopette. If we didn't bring it with us, it was the same stuff in a sense. I hope and pray he doesn't grab my towel. And in motion, we didn't have shower doors, I apologize. We had shower curtains, little cheap ass $2 shower curtains. As I realized this, I went to shoot my hand out to grab my towel to move it to the other side of the shower, right? Boom. My towel's missing. The little crack in between the shower and the shower curtain, standing there with this look. Oh, my bad, Sergeant Owens. You're more than welcome to use my towel. Use your towel. Use your towel. We're taking this shower damn near in cadence because of you. And you want me to use your nasty towel? Nah, I'm good, bruh. I'm cool. I finished rinsing off, drying myself off, getting all the water off, air drying in a sense. Boom. Your boy got me. He got me good. I thought that was the end of it. That was just the beginning with this soldier. I know you're probably thinking, more? How can there be more? Stay tuned for next time. Private Jack Stroganough in the chambers of sin. Peace. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Peace.